West Cationic 3. After that little incident with Jack, and after he was taken to the police department and probably the emergency room, not much else to say. I went back to my dorm and relaxed, continuing to question what was going on. Who was that student? I later found out his name was William. He died of some ritualistic fashion. The school has seen this as a serial killer. He is targeting students, but there is no real clear motive. But I think I do. He was trying to protect the Necronomicon from someone. Ever since I found the Necronomicon, I felt like I'd been watched. Like someone was close by and just watching me. They weren't doing anything else of relevant or importance. Later that night, Jack and I were talking. He said, "Yeah, that was pretty weird. I'm still a little shaken by it." I said, "What happened exactly?" I don't want to talk about it. You can talk to me. It's okay. I promise I won't get you in trouble." He then said, "Okay. I saw a figure running away. He was wearing a hood, and I never saw him again." He still seemed too scared to even talk about it openly. But I wanted to make sure he was okay. So I said, "Listen, Jack, if you need help, please come and find me. We will protect you from whatever this is. Just don't do anything stupid, okay? Don't try to be the hero. Don't try to think you get answers that way. It's not going to work out for you. Just be careful, okay?" He nodded and went back to his dorm. I did the same. In the middle of the night, we heard some noise. The window was broken. We looked around and we were confused. I said, "What was that?" Something definitely was following me now. It was confirmed. Alex looked around the room and couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. What is going on? We found a small rock, but we couldn't see anyone outside. Probably ran away when we were trying to figure out what was going on. I said to myself, things are getting more and more interesting, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Next day, Amanda walked up to me and said, "So what is going on? I know you two are at the heart of it." Alex then returned, "What do you mean, us two? It seems like everywhere I go, I see you guys next to a dead body. Do you two know something I don't?" I said, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Try me." "Okay." "We believe that someone is trying to find the Necronomicon, or at least I am. It is a book that is supposedly a cursed book. Michael was trying to do something with the Necronomicon and went missing and ended up dead. We believe William was trying to do the same and ended up dead. We're not 100% certain why they want the Necronomicon, but they do." She walked away after that, probably in disbelief. Honestly, I would do the same if I wasn't in her shoes. But here we are, still questioning what the Necronomicon's importance is. I said to Alex, "You know, you don't have to do this with me. I am perfectly fine with doing this by myself." He turned to me and said, "Oh no, you are in just as much trouble as I am now. We're going to get to the bottom of this if it's the last thing we do, okay?" And I nodded. I really appreciated Alex's help in this matter. I was confirmed scared most of the time. But, hey, with him by my side, at least Maybe two people who are terrified of what's going on, rather than one person. Then Jack appeared again, seeming much better. I said, Jack, how are you doing? He goes like, better, but still a little shaken. I understand. It's only been, what, 2 days since that happened? Yeah, but I am getting sleep again. Thank you for asking. I never asked if he was sleeping. Something isn't right with him right now. But I couldn't question it because he was just so frightened. So I left it at that. Then I said to Alex, do you think he's telling the truth? Alex shook his head no, then said, if he is, well, then he's playing it really well. He seems really comfortable for the fact that he killed someone, or maybe killed someone. He definitely saw someone die. He's definitely a little too comfortable with it. I nodded, then said, do you think we should follow him? Make sure he's not doing anything he knows he shouldn't be doing? What's the point? We follow him, there's no real reason for us. We won't have evidence if he does kill someone, and it'll make us look more suspicious. But that isn't stopping us from checking up on him from time to time. I say, later tonight, we check up on him. Make sure he's okay. And if he's guilty, then we will tell the authorities. But if he isn't, well then that's that. We continue on with our research of the Necronomicon. You do know how crazy you sound right now, right? I nodded and said, believe me, that seems to be my family curse. Well, let's check up on him before, he does anything absolutely out of his mind and gets himself killed. But we'll do it later tonight, okay? I nodded. Truth be told, I didn't want to go. I was too worried, mainly for me and Alex. Jack, honestly, I didn't know how to feel about him. He just seemed out of the ordinary most of the time. But eventually he was right. We had to find out if Jack was hiding anything. And I wanted to know the answers. So, later that night, we followed him to his dorm, waited a few hours, and then knocked on it. The latch did not open. We didn't hear any commotion. We were worried now. Alex then said, Jack, come on, let us in. We just want to talk, okay? And then we won't bother you. To be completely fair, I don't think that was the case. I would definitely come back and ask questions as many times as it takes to get the answers I want. But Jack would not answer. Maybe he's asleep. It's only 8:30. I doubt it. No college student goes to sleep at 8:30. At least none that expect to stay asleep. I nodded, and then I knocked again. Said, Jack, we know we scared you earlier, but this is important. We just want to talk, okay? I promise that this will be the last time. I lied behind my teeth. Then we left. We weren't sure if Alex was asleep or if he was just hiding his own guilt. I guess there's no point in waiting. As we walked back to our dorm, we felt like we were being watched again. I looked around and didn't see anyone out of the ordinary. At least, no one at all, actually. It was weird. But I guess that's part of the course that we are on now. Then I felt a presence behind me. I turned around and saw a figure running away. They weren't there before. I said, Alex, did you see that? He turned around and saw nothing. I ran at the figure, trying to get answers. But I wasn't sure I'd like the answers. But I had no choice at this point. As I tailed the figure, I began to realize how they were moving at incredible speed. I couldn't keep up, at least not as fast as I could. Alex maybe could have had an easier time, but even then it still wouldn't have made a difference. Then I went to a window that I passed and just stared at it. I wasn't sure what I was seeing, if it was real or if I was going crazy. If it was real, then, well, it made me feel better. But part of me doesn't want it to be real. Part of me wants it all to be just an illusion, something that I'm dreaming right now, something I don't understand. But the figure was gone. So were my answers. I had to find the truth, whether it was the last thing I did. I went back to Jack's dorm and knocked again. I said, "Jack, come on. Please. I know you're scared, and I know that there's something that you don't understand, I don't understand, none of us understand. But please, just open the door. You don't have to talk. You can just listen, okay?" I decided to turn the handle, something I've never done before. I was always too scared to know. And I was always too scared to ask questions. But this time, I wanted answers, and I was going to get them one way or another. The room was dark, except for the TV, which was staticky. I looked around for a moment, and then saw Jack sitting in a chair. "Jack, are you okay?" Alex caught up to me. He saw that I was in Jack's dorm. Said, "Is he doing fine?" "I don't know." "Jack, what's going on?" And he just sat there. I took very slow steps to try and get as close to him without scaring him. I looked at Alex and said, "Shut the door, okay? Make sure no one else comes in here. And if they do, let me know, okay? I feel like they'll know one way or another, but yeah, I got your back." And so I got closer and closer to Jack, with him making no sudden movements. Then I tapped his shoulder. His head went limp, and I saw his eyes. They were whited out, completely whited out eyes, like staring deep into my soul and destroying every bit of innocence that was left. I screamed as loud as I could. Alex came rushing in with a weapon, some chair, I think. I couldn't remember what it was. Jack was dead. I called the ambulance immediately. When they arrived, they carried his body off. It was terrifying. Something wasn't right, and I wanted to know what, but I was too scared to know. What was going on? Why is this happening to people? Who keeps killing these people? I said it to myself over and over and over again, hitting my hand against a wall, trying to get answers, trying to think of something that would make sense. But right now, nothing makes sense, so there's a problem here. And then I said to myself, arguing won't solve anything. But I have to find the answers. What is going on at West Cationic University? Why is it happening here? And part of me kept thinking, has this happened before? And if it did, when and why and what happened? Why can't I get the answers? This was supposed to be finding out about Michael's death, not about anything else. But why is the answers so hard? This is getting irritating beyond belief. Alex and Amanda came over and handed me a cup of coffee, something that would cool my mind. Ironic that a hot drink helps relax your body. But I guess that's kind of the point. This entire college is ironic. It's supposed to be a safe haven for people coming, There's guards almost stationed everywhere now, and they deem this place that there is a serial killer here. Someone is trying to prevent me from finding answers, and I'm not going to let that happen. I'm getting those answers one way or another. Alex then said, "What happened? Did he do anything?" "No, he just went limp." And I don't know. I really don't know. Amanda then said, "Why would he? Was he doing okay? He was fine earlier, or at least he seemed that way. Then he just went into his dorm and we never saw him again. And that was the last time I saw him alive. Anyway, I am now more concerned that something is going on, and I swear it has something to do with the Necronomicon. Jack was a witness, though, which throws off my pattern. Why are the connections? What are they? Why are they here? And who keeps killing these people?" These answers, they're just gonna have to wait, I guess. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, you have questions like who keeps killing them? Why are they after the Necronomicon? I don't know if they are, but I have that feeling that they are. It's kind of one of those things that you just. It's one of those things you can't explain, but you know it's the truth.